What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, I do want to go ahead and apologize. I do not know how this footage you guys are watching is going to go ahead and turn out. Basically, the past couple of footages I record in Battlefield 2042 have been just very choppy, glitchy. But then when I upload them to YouTube, they are extremely smooth. Now, I don't know. This footage looks like all the other footage I recorded before, choppy and glitchy, where they all smoothed off when it got on YouTube. So I'm assuming this one is going to do the same exact thing, but let me know down in the comment section if it doesn't follow the same process of it smoothing off and it looks a tad bit choppy. Because if it is, then I'm going to have to go into my settings and, look a little deeper into why Battlefield 2042 is performing a tad bit rough for my rig only. It's not for everybody. It literally is just specifically for my rig. But ladies and gentlemen, today is the start, well, not today actually, it was yesterday, was the start of the second week in the mid-season event for Battlefield 2042. And I wanted to go ahead, hop into the experience, and once again come back with you guys with a little, in detailed chat on what I'm thinking of this season, how they can improve, what they did right, what they did wrong, and just, a little overview of the overall situation we have here. Now, I do want to go ahead and state that this game is actually pretty enjoyable now. Compared to what it was day one, it's pretty smooth. The glitches aren't there. Again, my recording software has some trouble, but that doesn't mean the overall performance of the game itself is bad. And honestly, matchmaking-wise at least, compared to Call of Duty, this is 10 trillion times better. I mean, the casual gameplay is phenomenal, and even when you do get some sweats on an enemy team, it doesn't affect the gameplay in any way, shape, or form. It's Battlefield. At the end of the day, it will always be Battlefield. And I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people are able to grind this game out a lot more than they can with Call of Duty. And also, people are switching back from Call of Duty over to Battlefield. That's honestly blowing my mind, especially with how bad this game initially launched. But even though I'm starting to enjoy the game, that doesn't mean that this mid-season update is getting any better. Honestly, it's starting to lack more and more as the weeks go on. And honestly, I think week 3 will actually be pretty good, because we'll get a real game mode, 128-player breakthrough. That's going to be awesome to see back. But the rest of the stuff is just kind of, well, not kind of, it is pretty darn mediocre. I'm just going to be completely honest throughout this whole commentary. First off, the cosmetics themselves are still pretty decent, especially the free ones that you can get by simply going through all the ribbons through this mid-season event. But one of the pieces that we got in the store now, for free, for Falk, the headgear, is actually the same piece that they made people buy 1 week ago. They literally have a full decked out Falk outfit, which in my personal opinion, the only good part about that outfit was, the headgear, the night vision goggles. The rest of it was pretty simple. And people literally bought that bundle just for that, and now they're giving out that headgear completely free of charge. It's making me personally not want to go ahead and buy anything in their store, because I'm worried, am I just going to be able to get this for free the next week or the week after that? You guys need to be able to manage the cosmetics a tad bit better. And also, they describe the reason that we get 2 headsets now, or, headgears, is because they're for different factions. Yeah, you heard that correctly. In this season, apparently, there's supposed to be different factions. We're factions fighting each other within this season, within this quote-unquote story that's in this event that is non-existent within the game. You have to go to their blog post to see what the story is all about. But there's 2 different factions, and once again, I can't tell the difference. I really cannot tell the difference between the 2 factions. And at the end of the day, when we're in the battlefield, and I see Falk versus Falk, and Angel versus Angel, and Boris versus Boris, and McKay versus McKay, it's impossible to believe that there's factions. I have to be real. Battlefield 5 did it fantastic. As much crap as I gave that game, they really did do a solid way at balancing out what everybody else is trying to do with bringing in specialists and operators to take advantage of the skins and stuff they can sell, while at the same time keeping factions, which play a heavy role when it comes to a Battlefield game, because there's factions in Battlefield 5, but each role you're able to pick your character, customize your character for each class. And then, of course, they did have elite skins that you could put on, all of your classes of the characters, but they actually fit the theme of the game. Honestly, overall, that was the best way to do things. If you want to do factions, go back there. But don't use factions as, I guess I should say, an excuse to go ahead and, put 2 different headgears in the game that are the same thing. One being worth $25 in the whole bundle and the other, being completely free. And then, of course, next is the game mode, which, again, plays a massive role in this mid-season update, because the game mode is the whole theme. So we're expecting some unique stuff, right? Well, the first week completely disappointed me. I'm going to be honest. It was a little basic. The second week Well, let me just tell you that the third week might be the only time that Battlefield will feel like Battlefield, because all of these game modes that they are creating are so bare minimum, in my personal opinion. They're very basic. They don't feel like any wars going on. They're trying to tell you a tale in their blog post. Like, this is supposed to be some intense combat, but I don't feel it at all. It's the atmosphere is non-existent. I'm going to be real with you guys. I only go to these game modes to get the mid-season items, the free items that you can only get by playing this game mode. After that, I just go back to Conquest or Breakthrough because they feel a lot more like Battlefield. This does not at all. It's very disappointing. Now, in this game mode, basically it's attack versus defense. And once the attacking team captures an objective, the defense team can no longer take it ever again. So it's, you're slowly pushing the defense team back, which, the concept is all right, but once again, the lack of players in the lobby, it makes it, very slow paced, very boring. The action is just not nicely paced out enough, in my personal opinion. And I feel like the attacking force just doesn't have enough backup. They just simply don't have enough tickets to push through until the very end. I don't think I've seen it happen once in about 4 hours of playtime. It was a rough time. Honestly, it's just a game that didn't seem like it had much backtesting, much spirit or love behind it, much passion. That's what I'm getting out of this midseason update. It feels like it's just there to give us free content. It didn't really have much thought behind it. The story behind it isn't really there. They didn't think about the factions and how factions just simply don't work in this game right now because we have specialists already, so it just sucks because of that to begin with. And then these extremely basic game modes that don't seem like they had too much love put behind them. And then you got to think, week 3, yeah, it's going to be fun, but it's already something that was in the game from the beginning. Day 1, they removed it because I think it just didn't function very well, and the massive majority of the community didn't really care for 128 Breakthrough. But that's something we already had, so it's not even like this is a brand new game mode either. So the best part of this whole event is going to be a game mode that we had from day 1 launch. And the two, creative game modes that they're trying to put out were just not very creative, to be honest with you. You see, when I play Battlefield, what I'm looking for out of these game modes is a lot of action. I mean, even a Rush, for example, a small player type game mode still feels like it's all-out warfare. And that's what Battlefield does good. No matter what the player count, it feels like it's just an insane, stupidly crazy battle going on. These past couple of weeks, it doesn't feel like that. I'm not bashing that it's a smaller player count. I'm just bashing the fact that it just doesn't feel like it's a battle going on. It's almost silent. It's almost like a stealth mission. It feels like I'm playing like Rainbow Six or Ghost Recon or something like that out here in Battlefield. I feel like they just need some more tweaks, some more inspiration, some more love behind the scenes in order to make these mid-season events become a little bit more alive. Like, what happened to that YouTube channel that they had where they were posting the mini scenes, the mini story that they promised the whole community that they were going to go on and on and on with and continue the story, the backstory, the backplot to the whole overall game. That would be phenomenal for events like this, because right now, I don't think anybody even understands that this is even an event. They hop on and they see it's just free content. That's the only reason anybody in the world would hop into this event right now, is because it's free content. Like I said, the game modes are bare minimal. There's no story being told directly to you. There's no pre-cut scenes to, build up the hype. There's no changes to the overall map. They didn't change the atmosphere. They didn't change the lighting. They didn't change the weather or effects to script it a little bit to make it feel like it's a special event. Nothing's changed. The only reason you would hop into this is literally to get free content. And I wish they would just push more than that, because Battlefield is more than that. Battlefield isn't just, a content simulator. Battlefield is known massively for its atmosphere. I mean, Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 did a fantastic job at setting up the fights and setting up the situations that you're about to go into. Battlefield 2042 doesn't have any of that. So, just from my perspective, I think, at least for a mid-season update, they would at least put a little effort into just giving one person a script. I mean, shoot, just hire me. I'll do it for super cheap. Just give it to me, and I will literally read off of script. And you could just have a tiny cinematic, leading up to the event. Bam, you already have a little bit more story than you already had. It's not amazing. It's not like it's going to be game-changing just to add a little script, but it's more than what you already put forth to us in the event. At the end of the day, I'll still admit that these mid-season updates are nice because it's giving us free content. Regardless if there's a story or not to back up the whole purpose of this event, we're getting free stuff, and free stuff is always welcome in my personal opinion. So I will completely agree that I am nitpicking to the max degree. But again, like I said, I just want Battlefield to be back on the map. I don't know if they're taking this game too seriously anymore, if they're going to focus on the next game a little bit more. But whenever it happens, I just, I'm trying to give some helpful criticism, some, constructive criticism, I should say. Just in future events, give it a little bit more oomph, because honestly, exactly what you did with Battlefield 1 operations and stuff like that, that could be events. That could be your mid-season live events. Scripted wars with good cinematics, good themes, good atmospheres, some cutscenes. Just go a little bit with your budget. You guys make so much money off of these games. EA is worth a fortune. You guys can definitely afford to splurge a little bit for one of your top projects in your portfolio. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. And by all means, if you hated it, leave a dislike. Also, for brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button. Also, want to check me, there's two ways to do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me with live streams of video games, do over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.